Good day, everyone. Over the past few days, Al-Muhatta has been uncovering a thorough investigation on suspicious activities occurring inside the Hariri International Airport in Beirut, Lebanon. The investigations have been uncovering discriminatory policies against Shia employees at the expense of the safety and well-being of passengers, as well as leaked documents showing an organized structure facilitating the smuggling of weapons across unofficial channels at the possible benefit of the Lebanese army, as well as the import of narcotics. I have the pleasure of having with me Radwan Mortada, an investigative journalist that dived deeply into the matter of Fadi Kfoury, the brigadier and responsible of the Hariri International Airport, who's been overseeing the smuggling of these weapons. Thank you very much, Radwan, for taking the time to meet with us today.
Thank you, Rami. Thank you for this introduction.
So, can you just start?
Fadi Kfoury, he's one of hundreds of officials in the Lebanese system who are involved in corruption.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're adding corruption into political corruption.
Right, because I mean, Lebanon is not too foreign to this concept of corruption, but now we're seeing one of this concept of traitorous policies of the Lebanese state. And when you see these activities happening in the Beirut airport, there's some kind of these connections that we start building into why is the Lebanese army smuggling these weapons in these unofficial channels? Can you start by telling us exactly what was the investigation that Al-Muhatta ran on the case of Fadi Kfoury?
Okay, in fact, the investigation began after British authorities arrested three Lebanese, in fact, at Heathrow Airport, Sabine, Charbel, and Dani. They were moving from Houston in Texas, United States, to America, Escale in Heathrow. During searching their luggages, in fact, the officers found training rifles, pistol frames, and numerous components that together could be assembled a handgun. So they arrested him and they start to interrogate them. They arrest them, in fact, in the second day of May, the 2nd of May. Until now, two of them, they are being arrested in London. They are under custody with what do you call it, with the bracelet on their...
They're being monitored.
Yes, they are being monitored and they are not allowed to leave from London. They give exception for Dani, who his wife gave birth for his newborn baby, and he came to meet his new baby, and then he will go back to be in front of the court in the beginning of September.
And
so, sorry?
So these individuals that you mentioned, are they part of the Lebanese army, or are they just operating
as private? The three arrested people, they said that we are transporting these pistols and weapons to the Lebanese army. But in fact, this is even the British policeman, he was shocked. He said, I can't believe that the Lebanese army are transporting their weapons through three IT employee in a company. So that doesn't make sense. In fact, they are these weapons. They were transporting these weapons to Fadi Kfoury, the head of the security in the Lebanese airport. But till now, we don't know why Fadi Kfoury is getting these weapons from the United States of America. Is it for his own profit? He wants to sell these pistols, because you know that in the United States, the pistol is $500, $600, you can get it. Here, the same pistol, this Glock, you can sell it for $4,000. Maybe, and during the investigation, they said that we are 10 persons, 10 people who are moving twice yearly from America to Lebanon, and every time we get a bag with us full of weapons.
I would assume that the Lebanese army have their own proper channels of importing weapons for the sake of the Lebanese army. How do we explain the fact that this is happening through kind of these unofficial clandestine channels on civilian airplanes using IT workers? I mean, how can anyone? I mean, is there any justification for that?
No one can explain or justify that, Rami, because first of all, Fadi Kfoury, he is the puppet of the president Joseph Aoun, the Lebanese president Joseph Aoun. He nominated him in the airport, and you know that our president is a puppet for the Americans. So they think that they can do they can take all the measurements against Hezbollah, against the resistance in Lebanon, to prevent getting money to the people of the south, to prevent them from living, from building their homes. But at the same time, they are allowed to get weapons from United States to sell these weapons, or maybe to give these weapons to Lebanese forces, because we don't know since when they are getting these weapons. And in addition to that, Michel Yamin, the owner of the NGO, he is partner with his wife, Katya, Mika, the NGO called Mika. So this guy, the confessions mention that he is moving also weapons with him while he's coming here.
So has the Ministry of Interior or the president or other officials in the Lebanese army had no comments?
No comments at all, because you know that he's their man. So what I'm preparing, what I'm doing now is preparing these documents. I want to send these documents to the general prosecutor to follow this case, because in fact he's putting Lebanon and he's involving the Lebanese army in weapon trade. Yes, and the Lebanese airport. So no one will punish him for what he's doing. But in fact, we published this story for public opinion to know that what he's doing in the airport. He do this. He's changed the image of the airport from being an airport to become a mini market.
Well, these are the accusations that they gave Hezbollah, right? That they were using the airport to smuggle weapons, and it turns out the Lebanese army itself and their own the people responsible at the airport are the ones using the airport for smuggling purposes, it seems. So I was seeing that MTV, the right-wing kind of Zionist media in Lebanon, had reported on this matter as well. And coming to the defense of Fadi Kfoury, can you elaborate on what was Fadi Kfoury's response to these accusations?
They were trying to say that no, Fadi Kfoury is innocent, and they count on a letter sent by Fadi Kfoury to the court, to the British court. But and they mentioned that there are 4 guns. It's for training only. And a part of a pistol, Michel Yamin sent it for a reason, we don't know why, and this is what makes troubles. But in fact, they were lying, because in the other page of the same letter, Fadi Kfoury confessed that there were 3 pistols, and in fact, they are more than 3 pistols. And he said, I'm trying to get these pistols to convert them to an airsoft pistol. But this is not, that doesn't make sense, because you can get them airsoft gun. Why you need to get them as Glock and then you convert them to airsoft pistol for training?
And especially as you've mentioned,
Yes, especially this is not the first time, Rami. They brought
Exactly.
it's 10 people every time. They came twice. Why he needs all this amount of or these quantities? What he's
But
trying to?
also you're mentioning that they do this twice a year and it's a group of 10 people. That becomes 10 flights times two that you're paying. uh, Either it's a poor investment, but I mean the economics do not justify the costs, right,
Yes,
of taking such measures to import weapons. Clearly there are easier, more efficient and reasonable ways to do this, but that kind of raises two questions. Either Fadi Kfoury is fulfilling his job as a member of the Lebanese army, and these weapons are being used for the Lebanese army, or clearly he's showing a corrupt behavior by importing these weapons for his own well-being. But in that case, would it be reasonable to have a man who smuggling weapons on a corrupt basis to manage the airport? I mean, it sounds unreasonable. And then the other question becomes, if he's doing this for the Lebanese army, um, what are these? Why are these weapons being smuggled in a clandestine way, and are they used against Hezbollah?
till now we don't know why he brought all these quantities, the guns and the pistols. Until now, the leadership of the Lebanese army refused to give him a license for end user, to say that these weapons were for the army. So he's stuck in a big trouble now. The third
Now,
thing, you know that Fadi Kfoury is referring to the ministry, to the Interior Ministry. So until now, the Interior Minister say nothing. He didn't comment on what's happening. They didn't open an investigation. The General Prosecutor in Lebanon also he didn't open an investigation to see if I'm saying what I'm saying is that true, and what they will how they will manage to fix what's happened. So and I want to put him and put them on under their task. That's why I published parts of the documents, parts of the investigations, to encourage them. Okay, I have the papers. You have to do your job. What Fadi Kfoury was doing, and this is a part of the mount of the iceberg, if you want. We don't know we don't know how many weapons he smuggled before. What is he using the airport for? Who are entering to Lebanon without a permission? Because Michel Gabriel Yamin, the partner of the NGO, he backed Lebanese forces, and you know they are right-wing militias, they are Christians, militias, extremists. So we need to know. That's
now
why
you
I'm following this case.
and it's absurd because they're giving a blind eye to Fadi Kfoury, yet they're arresting your own colleagues, Hassan Oleg, who was briefly detained over his research concerning the Saudis and I believe their aggression towards Yemen. So the
Yes.
Ministry of Interior have shown the necessary courage to arrest reporters and investigative journalists, yet not the people that are putting the Lebanese airport at harm's way through the illegal smuggling of weapons. Now,
No one dares to criticize Saudis in Lebanon. I don't know if you know that. And I don't know if you know that there was a minister, a Lebanese minister, George Qardahi, when he commented and said that the war between Saudi Arabia and Yemen is a chaotic war. They obliged him to resign. Can you imagine?
I
He
remember
just
this.
said his opinion, and they put all their efforts to force him to resign. That's what was happened.
And that
So
was
they
just
cannot.
into his mandate.
This is first. Secondly, in fact, they are till now they didn't arrest Hassan. They couldn't find him till now. But in fact, Hassan, he's not only criticizing Saudis, and they don't want to arrest him only for criticizing Saudis. They want to sell that for Saudis, but in fact, they want to arrest him because he criticizes the Lebanese president and the Lebanese prime minister,
Nawaf Shalom.
who became a part in the coalition against the Lebanese, the Zionist American coalition against Lebanese.
Now, this is not the first time that Al Muhatta investigates Fadi Kfoury. Just a month ago, there was a report that you guys have published showing that Fadi Kfoury refused to give access to certain Shia employees to key infrastructure of the airport, although one of these technicians of Shia sect was the only one who could perform these reparations to repair the damaged airport infrastructure. So can you tell us more about what you guys have uncovered regarding Fadi Kfoury's sectarianism in Lebanon concerning the airport?
Yes, in fact, Fadi Kfoury, he's sectarian, he's racist. His way of management for the airport, you can tell I remembered I traveled 2 weeks ago when we met before. I met a lot of employees and officials inside the airport, and they were telling me bravo for kicking his ass, because how he deal inside the airport is not acceptable, because he prevent these Shia employees from entering to the radar department because he accused them that they may leak information to Hezbollah. He has no evidence. Just because they are Shia, he said, I want to prevent them from entering there. And after that, a problem happened in the radar, and no one can fix that except one engineer, he's Shia. So he brought him with guards to force him to solve this problem, because at the beginning, the engineer refused to enter because when they called him, please, we need your help to fix this problem. He told them, call Fadi Kfoury and let him go to fix it by himself. So he's sectarian in his way of dealing with Shia inside the airport. And he think when we publish about that, he become more stronger in front of the Americans, in front of the Israelis, in front his boss, Joseph Aoun and Nawaf Islam. So till now, this is not you mentioned that we published this story about radar problem, and several days ago we published the story, the investigation on weapon smuggling. And inside the weapon smuggling story, we mentioned that because he's above the law, members from his system, members from his group involved in drug trafficking also, they were collaborate with a Turkish gang. So until now, I'm working on another story on Fadi Kfoury. It will be published within a week. Another jumping above the law. Another dealing with the airport as if it's his. Yeah.
But as much as you guys have been doing a good job exposing Fadi Kfoury, I believe that this shows larger systems of a dysfunctional Ministry of Interior that is not able to hold accountable their staff, and that just pushes me to believe, or to ask you, whether do you believe that other areas of interest in Lebanon are being used for suspicious purposes? Just, I believe a month or two ago, the Lebanese Prime Minister inaugurated the opening of a
new
airport in the north of Lebanon. And then there's the largest embassy in the world, which is going to be the US Embassy in Beirut. Do you believe that there's kind of infrastructure being set up for more of these types of smuggling?
For sure. And guess what? Who will be responsible for the security for the airport? Fadi
Fadi
Kfoury again.
Kfoury.
Yes.
So
Can you imagine?
yeah.
So they want to build their airport. They want to the American want to use our airports. You know, I don't know if you know that the planes, the American, the military planes that entered Lebanon, the general security are not allowed,
To
or the
inspect.
customs are not allowed to check them or to search them or to look inside their luggages, because you know that they are VIP guests in Lebanon, and no one knows who entered to Lebanon or no, or if they want to double check on the airport on the passports. So Fadi Kfoury, what he's doing is looking for Shia, looking for the Iraqi planes and before the Iranian planes, but he buried his head when it comes to the Americans.
And what are the oppositions to the government and to Fadi Kfoury doing to ensure that that there's a level of accountability? Because it seems to me that the U.S. Embassy, the airport in the north, Fadi Kfoury managing security for these airports, letting the Americans import any weapons that they want, essentially, and any infrastructure that they want through Lebanon, becomes a huge security risk for the Lebanese people, but also for the ones that are defending Lebanon and Palestine.
Rami, in fact, they don't care because when we raise this issue to public, they started to say it's campaign against Fadi Kfoury. But in fact, I'm not the one who did the investigation. It's done by the British, and you know, British against Hezbollah. So they deal with the case, with this issue, with this investigation, as if it's guided by Hezbollah, but in fact it's guided by the British. And there are three Lebanese arrested in London, and there is an investigation, and these are the documents, but they don't care.
And it's the same Ministry of Interior that has abandoned, I believe, 7 or 8 Lebanese civilians that are currently under Israeli captivity in the south. And what is Hezbollah's response to Fadi Kfoury and the betrayal of the Ministry of Interior?
Hezbollah is not commenting inside Lebanon now. Hezbollah is dealing like that. There is a war. We are fighting Israel. We have to concentrate on the battle with the Israelis. Till now, the war is still going on. What we will do after the war. And at the same time, they are waiting, because all of us knows that the solution will come from United States and Iran, talks in Islamabad, not by the Lebanese government or by the Lebanese president. Commenting on what the Lebanese state is doing now is worthless.
Well, it's getting more importance than it should.
Yes, in fact, it's nothing for us. The last word will be for the agreement that will be held by the Americans and the Iranians. This is the fact. Any other things is not true. And I don't know if you read what Sayyid Mushtaba Khamenei published 2 days ago, replying to the fighters of Hezbollah, when he said it clearly that Lebanon issue will be the first issue for us, and Israel has to withdraw with no condition.
And we saw it from the previous memorandum of understanding, the Lebanese ceasefire being the first item on this memorandum. Now, we were both in Iran together, and when I was there, I went to the U.S. Embassy, former U.S. embassy in Tehran. I even had the chance of doing an interview there. And what we ended up discovering is that this U.S. embassy was in fact a spying den. As this U.S. embassy is being built in Beirut right now, were we able to uncover at the moment any evidence of large-scale spying from the U.S. side?
If you look, I don't know if you have a look at the shape of the embassy and how much huge it is. Do you see that video?
I haven't.
I can share it with you. It's a base, in fact. It's not an embassy. For Lebanon, this small state, you have this huge American base in Lebanon. For sure, they are doing a lot. And you know that the CIA, Sherry, the CIA head of station, I published her name several months before, when the Ukrainian spy ran away from Dahi.
With the support of Ministry of Interior.
Yes. You know that they are interfering in everything security issue in Lebanon. She met with the head of the general security. She met with the head of the intelligence. She met with the head of the army, or the commander of the army. So they are working inside Lebanon. And you know that they collaborate with the Israeli all the time. So for us, some of the Lebanese, they are differentiate between Israel and United States. But in fact, Israel is killing us by US bombs. So there is no difference for us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And in some ways, the US embassy becomes an Israeli embassy in Lebanon.
Yes.
Radwan, thank you very much for taking the time to tell us about all these high-level cases of corruption and betrayal going on in the Ministry of Interior of Lebanon. It was a pleasure.
Thank you, Rami. I hope I delivered the message clearly.
Of course.
Of my language.
And we will keep an eye on your upcoming reports on Fadi Kfoury. You've mentioned one coming up in the next week. And of course, all the I know Al-Mahatta has been working on some interesting documents. I encourage everyone to check Al-Mahatta on Instagram. We'll post a link in our description so that you can be the first ones to hear about these upcoming investigations.
On YouTube, the whole episode will be on YouTube. Thank you, Rami. I really appreciate it.